Man, dude, I love that song so much. That thing just hits, man. That gets you amped up, gets you ready for a show right there. Man, we are back. It has been a fun week 5. A lot of the things we talked about Sunday morning at our live shows that we have at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, getting you ready for all your weeks, getting you rosters, start sits, last minute ins outs. Man, a lot of that stuff came to fruition. We had a lot of great questions involving a lot of players. Actually, there's still a lot of people that are scared about Jamar Chase, but we might have something that'll save his season for the most part, which we'll talk about later on. But regardless, you'll notice we are without Mick this evening. He had to work late, keeping the lights on out there in California. But as always, we got our boy Slayton, Snipes by Slate. How you doing, brother, man?
I'm doing good, man. Had a lot of heartbreaking losses and some big time wins this weekend, so definitely a mixed bag of feelings, but we're trucking through.
Yeah, man. We didn't have so much going on as far as like injuries this week, like we've had in the past few weeks. Man, we've had so many injuries this season, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been disgusting, man, and it really hurts for anybody that's just a lover of ball, man. Like it just really makes me sad to see like all these big name receivers, all these quality running backs and tight ends and QBs and all these guys that you want to root for and you want to be fans of and you want to like see what they can do and see it all be put together, but it's just shadowed by this.
Yeah.
Just crazy to see it all unfold, and I guess this is why we play, because you never know. The injuries is what the ticket is there. You never know what's going to happen, and it's if you have the handcuff or if you have the waiver wire fingers or whatever. You got to be on your toes to try to make it work.
Yeah. So before we get going too far, as everybody knows, we are partnered with W Energy, and they are offering a zero sugar powder option as far as your energy needs. So if you're looking to get away from all of the canned soda style energy drinks that give you that like bad gut feeling, or just all in all, just you don't feel good because of all the chemicals in it, because there are a lot of chemicals in a lot of that stuff now that they're putting in cans. But W Energy is offering you 10% off of all of your orders, not just your first time order, not just on one item, but every time you go and you order your next tub of W Energy. Use the code Kingmaker. That is good forever. So make sure you go ahead and when you put your order in at checkout, you put Kingmaker there to let them know that myself, Slayton, and Mick sent you that way. Um, Without further ado, man, looking at how this week went, let's talk about some players that are welcome back to relevancy. Again, let's start off with somebody that you were promoting last week, Darren Waller, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, coming back to back. The thing is like he's the biggest body in that offense. And I, as much as I love Waddle, he is a phenomenal receiver. Don't get me wrong. He's just not a big guy in stature. And at the end of the day, Tua is going to need some like quick, throws and like something right over across the middle. And I think Waller is one of those guys that has really good catching in traffic and has just that big body frame that you need down in the red zone.
Yeah, and we're seeing it wasn't just a one week wonder. It
No,
looks like they're going to still use him in the red zone. Which, hey, touchdowns are worth 6 points plus the catch. Boom, there's 7 right there, man. So if you're looking for a red zone target, especially now with Tyreek Hill gone, there you go. Go get you some Darren Waller in your life. Um, next up, our welcome back to relevancy is Kendrick Bourne
yes, sir.
with signing back with the San Francisco 49ers. That's where he started at originally. Who always was a decent route runner and everything like that. He was just overshadowed just by bigger talent there. But he comes out and he has a really, really massive day. He catches 10 of 11 targets for 142 yards, excuse me. But no touchdowns though. But still, that gave you 27 fantasy points there in PPR leagues, so that's looking pretty good for you. How'd you enjoy watching Kendrick Bourne?
Hey, I actually snagged me a share of Kendrick Bourne in one of my leagues. And, like, to be honest with you, I hit two really good waiver wire pickups, and my team just took a shit on me. Like, I'll be honest with you. I got the Theo Johnson and I got the Kendrick Bourne. I started them both. I was feeling good. Got a crisp, somewhere around, I think it was like 40, 50 points between the two of them. I was feeling good, man. I felt great. And then just the rest of my team just did nothing. And like, I was really happy to have Kendrick Bourne just to see that bromance between him and Mac Jones flourish again was nice. But no, realistically, Kendrick Bourne, he's always been a solid receiver. My comp to him would be more kind of like a Jacoby Myers, just kind of an all-purpose wide receiver, can do a little bit of all of it, but was never like the star of the show, if you will. He's always been kind of that second fiddle, whatever. But, at the end of the day, he's a serviceable receiver. And I really hope that they keep him around for a little bit, especially with everybody being hurt on that offense. I think it would be beneficial for them to keep around.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they definitely need some help there in their pass catching department. Our next welcome back guy of the week is Rico Dowdle,
Yes,
which
sir.
is that's a name we haven't heard since he played in Dallas, and he had some pop offs in Dallas. Well, I think it's safe to say he had one for Carolina this week.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, man.
so
That man was running like crazy.
I mean, it's like if you're watching Red Zone, it's like they just keep popping up. Rico Dowdle, another long run. Rico Dowdle, another long run. The guy had 23 carries. First off, that's a good chunk of carries
Yeah,
for a backup at that.
bell cow work, baby.
Yeah, that is bell cow work for sure. To go with those 23 carries, he made the most of it. He got 206 yards on that, and he got a touchdown.
It shows why
But
he needs to be utilized in that offense, man.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he got
even
to
when Chuba Hubbard's healthy.
show.
But they're definitely gonna have some questions to answer and some choices to make when Jonathan Brooks is healthy, Chuba Hubbard's healthy, and then this kind of performance from Rico Dowdle. Man, I don't see how you're not going to sit here and say like we have to keep this guy on the roster, because last thing you want is you want him going somewhere else and him doing that, putting up 206 yards on you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's our welcome backs for the week. So welcome back to Darren Waller, Kendrick Bourne, and Rico Dowdle. So big performances of the week. We had a few of them. We just talked about Rico Dowdle, which with that kind of performance, he gets a nomination for Kingmaker Sports King of the Week. Another big performance this week is a gentleman who threw for 4 touchdowns, which doesn't happen every week if you're a quarterback, right? But what also doesn't happen every week if you're a quarterback is you throw over 250 yards. Not only did Sam Darnold throw for 341 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did throw one interception, but hey, I'll take that interception if you're chunking me 341 yards and 4 touchdowns. But that was an amazing, amazing stat line for Sam Darnold. So it doesn't look like the Vikings, it was just like the system he was in. It looks like he's in a system now in Seattle where he's succeeding. So, and this is without DK Metcalf too. So clearly it looks like if you waited on JSN in dynasty leagues and you didn't panic with last year, you're looking really good right now with Sam Darnold as your quarterback in Seattle. Are you feeling pretty comfortable with Sam Darnold as a quarterback there in Seattle?
Yeah, man. And like, if you look back at the stats between both him and Baker Mayfield, they were like almost identical. I mean, it was damn close between the two of them. And like going into this game, I really thought this was going to be the game of the week. I had a gut feeling. It looked good on paper. And I was like, man, is this going to be one of those like hard fought battle between two defenses to where it's like like a 21-24 game,
Yeah.
something like that. And I was like, it has every bit of potential to do that, but they also have the offensive pedigree on both sides to make this a blowout. And that's what happened, man. And it was phenomenal to watch. Both of these guys were like left for dead,
Yeah.
and to see them both come out here and to put on a show. in front of the entire week, game of the week without a doubt. Like it really goes to show that there needs to be a bit more patience on some of these guys, or to maybe not be afraid to buy back into them when they go to a different system or a different team, because like a lot of these guys going to a different team was their saving graces.
Yeah.
And it's super cool to see that Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, both who were teammates in Carolina at one point,
Yeah.
to go out there and have a show, man. So like props to them guys. They've been really doing a fantastic job out there of just really getting into a new scheme for Sam Darnold and to a new offense, and just really showing what you can do. So definitely very happy with him. I have him in a couple redraft leagues where I originally had Trevor Lawrence, and that lasted about 2 weeks, and I was like, sayonara.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence had a big game too.
Yeah, I mean,
Getting that final drive, final touchdown against the Chiefs.
man, that's a
Statement win for him. I'm excited to see Trevor Lawrence's growth moving forward. He's had kind of a hard run of kind of a bad start when it comes to coaches in his young career. So, but our king of the week is going to be Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka is having a hell of a rookie season, man. Like right now, it's between him and Tyler Warren for rookie of the year, but I think Egbuka is starting to run away with it.
Egbuka, like the whole offense is centered around him at this point. And I was listening to Ray G and Jordan Richards earlier this morning, and they were talking a lot about Egbuka, just like where they have him ranked as far as in Dynasty and that type of stuff. And it was really eye-opening to see that. But they also hit on the points of like, okay, so now this genie is out of the bottle. When Mike Evans comes back, you're not going to be able to just put him back. You know what I'm saying? Like, this offense is going to run around him for years to come,
Yeah.
And like,
I mean, he's the future, 100%.
Yeah, like I don't think you're able to even give him a back seat at the end of this season when everybody's there, Like he has just shown that he was at everything that he was claimed to be, in the draft process. And there was some like separation stats or whatever at the beginning that everybody was worried about, and ultimately now, like, who has a question about anything? Like, he has gone out there, the entire team's behind him, and it's been echoed from day one. The coaches, the Baker Mayfield, like everybody around him was praising his name in training camp and in the offseason whenever he came to the team. Like, it just goes to show, man, like, this guy is for real. And I think this is just a drop in the bucket for what he's about to become.
Yeah, I definitely don't see Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, one of the two, being there much longer with the emergence of Emeka Egbuka.
No.
I mean, he's come out and just asserted dominance from day one. But yeah, so for having catching all 7 of his targets for 163 yards and a touchdown, Emeka Egbuka, you are the Week 5 Kingmaker Sports King of the Week. So keep it up, Emeka Egbuka. If you have him in Dynasty, you are looking really good. Don't sell, even if you're rebuilding. This is a rebuilding asset right here.
Yeah, this is who you want to center a team around right now.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I mean, he's just as valuable as a Jamar Chase at this point. I'm not saying like in the grand scheme of things, but at this point. So,
no,
but yes.
In all actuality, he is a top 10 wide receiver asset in Dynasty right now, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And like, there's no way that you can't put him in that list. Like, he is, like, I would much rather have him over like a Malik Neighbors right now. If I'm being honest, not just because
he has a better. Well, you got to think he's got a better team, better quarterback. Like, yes, Malik Neighbors may be better or whatever you want to call it, which I don't think so. I've been an Emeka Egbuka fan since he was a freshman at Ohio State, so I'm with it. But I mean, yeah, Emeka Egbuka was always I traded away. I forget who I traded away, but I traded away something to get the fifth pick in my dynasty league to get Emeka
Mm-hmm.
Egbuka. I mean, I'm like I'm sitting here putting my money where my mouth is. I'm not telling you folks out there stuff that you shouldn't do. I'm doing the same thing. So Infrared says, do we still believe in Woody Marks? So after him having such a big game, and then not so big of a game, what are we feeling on Woody Marks?
I mean, like it's a game dependent week. It just is what it is. I think what really happened there wasn't a flipping stitch of defense out there, and C.J. Stroud was just out there cutting them up, dude. I mean, realistically, why need to use a running back when you're just slicing these dudes up, no problem?
Yeah, on a week where the Ravens defense was so horrible that C.J. Stroud is at
Yeah.
will doing whatever he wants.
Ravens defense is atrocious right now. Like there's so many injuries, and like they just haven't played as a complete unit from day one.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll get it together by the end of the season. It's just like absolutely disgusting to watch. And like on paper, coming into the season, they were probably the best defense that you could find. And just to see it play out like this, I was like, damn, man, I was wrong. I was big wrong on that.
Yeah. But look, man, I still believe in Woody Marks. I do,
Yeah,
man.
like
It's
I don't think
let's
it's
let's not panic on here. Let's be patient with Woody Marks.
he's a rookie.
Uh, he's a
Like it
rookie.
is.
Exactly, he's a rookie. All right, so if we're gonna do our Kingmaker Sports King of the Week, then naturally we got to do our Kingmaker Sports Fool's Gold. All right, so Fool's Gold, if you're not aware, we started this last week. Fool's Gold is somebody who popped off, and we don't believe that that's going to ever happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got two candidates this week. Our first candidate is going to be the rookie darling, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, aka Bill. All right. Um,
Bill.
14 carries, 111 yards, and two tutties, and he caught both of his receptions, both his targets for 39 yards. A great game. But are we believing that this is going to be his normal, or if this was a one-off?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be as normal by any means. Like let's be honest with you, he's kind of been the featured back most of these weeks, and he's not done that. But at the same time, there's not a whole lot of competition in that back in that room right now, and he seems to be the lone star of that. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, realistically, do I think he's going to go out there and run 100 yards a week? No, no. I think he's more of like a 40 to 50, maybe 60 on a good week, and he's going to catch a couple balls and get another 20, 30 yards there. He's not one of those guys that's a bell cow running back that's just going to keep blowing the doors out. It's just not his style. So, I mean, I think he's going to get touches, but I don't think he's going to be a bell cow running back by any means.
Yeah, for sure. He'll have good weeks
Yeah, without a doubt.
ahead, but this is a kind of an outlier right now. But our Fool's Gold Player of the Week, as we mentioned earlier, is going to be Mr. Rico Dowdle. We know Rico Dowdle. We talked about Rico Dowdle's talented. He's good, right? But are we going to expect to ever see 23 carries for 206 yards ever again?
No.
Absolutely not. This is something that they didn't expect this. They didn't think this was going to happen. So for that reason, Rico Dowdle won Kingmaker Sports Week 5 Fool's Gold Award. So temper expectations on Rico Dowdle. If you picked him up on waivers, just understand this is not ever going to happen again. So moving on. Let's look at some injuries that happened. We didn't have a lot, only had a few. But one that probably hurt a lot of people who looked like he was finally going to start getting his run after Najee Harris went on IR, and he did. He did pretty decent, and then he goes out with an ankle injury. How are we feeling about Amarion Hampton going down with that ankle injury?
I mean, he's going to IR, dude. What are you going to feel? Like he's going to be out for at least 4 weeks. So we're sitting at week 9, and like I don't know, man. Like I don't have a good feeling about it. Do I think it's warranted to keep him on your bench until then? I don't know. I know, like, I'm for sure keeping him in Dynasty, but, like, at the end of the day, as far as redraft goes, I'd be pretty fucking nervous, man. I'd be, like, if there's something that's really popping off that's going to be more of a full-time roster spot for you, like, I probably wouldn't hold back unless you have, like, IR spots on your roster.
Yeah, if you got an IR spot, you're good. But if not, I mean, that's 4 weeks of him just sitting there. But you don't cut him by any means, like at all. You don't cut him Ryan Hampton. But that's gonna pain you if you don't have an IR slot to sit there and just look at Amari and be like, dang it, man, I need that bench spot too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he's gonna be gone for at least the next 4 weeks on IR. So if you're gonna stay tuned for our waiver ads to see who you could possibly replace him with for the time being. The next two aren't big. Darius Slayton had a hamstring injury. Of course, the only reason we're talking about Darius Slayton again is because Malik Neighbors went on IR for the season. So now it's like, bro, Jalen Hyatt. I mean, just pretty much like you're looking at those two guys. Like Wandale's the primary now.
Juan Diesel and Theo Johnson. Let's go.
Yeah. So that's the only reason we're talking about. Oh, Scat Pack's about to get so many receptions. It's gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be crazy. I can just like picture you now. Like every time Scat Pack catches a pass, man, you're just gonna be jumping up on the roof.
Now, I'll be honest with you though. With that being said, I would definitely be looking into some Devin Singletary right now. Just to be kind of safe on that side because he is a pass catching back as well. And with all these injuries, like it's never bad to look into some other options into that offense just to kind of see what's out there.
Oh, not at all. I mean, you should be doing that 100%. So our next one is only worth mentioning because it has fantasy implications for another running back on this team that that I believe is the best running back on that team, but for some reason, they're just totally ignoring this guy, and I'll never understand it. But
whoa! Pump the brakes. Let's look at the total touches for each one of the running backs this year.
Okay.
Because Ramondre Stevenson's at like 38 or 36, and Trevo is at 32.
He's not getting meaningful touches though. Like he should be the one at the goal line. He should be the one getting all when the game is important. He should be in the game. He's by far the best running back on that team.
But what has he shown? He's shown nothing. And we're just a couple of guys watching on the outside, but we're not seeing what's happening inside that building. And there's got to be something that's happening inside that building for him not to be getting touches.
That's fair.
Whether it's the pass catching deal, whether it's not the pass catching deal, but the pass blocking, like he's been atrocious there. I don't know if that's why he's in the doghouse, but at the same time, like he hasn't shown us anything. So why are we pounding the table for him like to be utilized more whenever he's not shown anything with the touches that he has been given?
And well, I think it's because we know what he can do. Like we've seen what he can do. Like I get it. It's in college. I get that. And if that's what you're getting at, okay, that's fair. But we know what he's capable of and his talent level. So that's the only reason I'm saying that is like talent-wise, he's the best running back on the team. But I mean, I feel like they need to feature him more so that way he can prove that. But Ramondre Stevenson just got paid, so it's like you pay the guys who can use him.
Like every other backfield in this league, it's a 50-50 split, just like everybody else. I mean, like my thing is like you got to do more with what you're given, man.
Yeah.
And if he was to do more with what he was given, there would be no choice other than to put him out there. So that's where I'm like, at the end of the day, what's the difference between him and Harvey? There's really not much.
No, well, Harvey wasn't like arguably one of the best running backs coming out of college either. Hendo's been one of the best running backs in college every year he was in college, ever since a freshman. So he's got a little bit more like hype around him. But we've also seen a lot more film from him as well. But I know if Mick was here, he'd tell you like it doesn't matter about like trying to run a two-headed system or whatever. He only cares about fantasy football. So for fantasy football purposes, Travion Henderson is the best option in that backfield.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Well, I mean, Ramondre Stevenson, he's a pass catching back too. You know, I've seen him have big years. I've seen him have bad years. I mean, it's just part of the growing pains. I feel like, but like I felt like this was pretty easy to see coming into the season, where it was Ramondre Stevenson sitting there, and I was one of the first ones to say, you know, Ramondre is not dead. He's not terrible. Like, what's not to be that he's not going to get touches in this offense? And I think he's just going to be a pain in the side, a fucking thorn in the foot the rest of the season, or the rest of his tenure being there. And I hate to say it because we all know that everybody wants to see something different. But at the end of the day, like whatever's happening within that building is dictating why he's not getting there, and that's a little bit more troublesome for me.
Yeah. So moving on to our trade targets segment of the show. We are looking at a couple players here. One is a trade target, but he's also a waiver ad as well. So we'll cover him both, which I keep telling everybody. I mean, everybody here on the show keeps telling you about this kid, but it doesn't look like people are listening. But the numbers are supporting what we're telling you here. And that's Mason Taylor, tight end for the New York Jets, rookie out of LSU, son of Jason Taylor, NFL great. So we tried to tell you 2 weeks ago that, hey, go grab Mason Taylor before it's too late. Well, he's still available in 14. He's only rostered in 14% of Yahoo leagues. But his targets are going up every week, and his yardage is going up every week. So now, last week, we told you go grab him when he scored 11.5 PPR points, not tight end premium points, but PPR points after he had 7 targets, 5 receptions for 65 yards. And now here it is, week 5, they play the Dallas Cowboys when they needed to go to a pass catcher, a dependable pass catcher, so they went to Mason Taylor. And on 12 targets, he caught 9 of those for 67 yards and a 2-point conversion. So that means in the red zone, they will be looking to Mason Taylor at some point. So he got you about 17.5 PPR points this week. So if somebody has him, especially like in Dynasty, go get him right now before it's too late, because he's going to cost you so much money this offseason to go get, or so many pick, or whatever you're trading away in your Dynasty leagues. Go get Mason Taylor now before it's too late, before he costs way too much. Okay, even if you have to overpay. So because Rich Dotson on Dynasty Nerds says an overpay today will be an underpay tomorrow, and I firmly believe that with Mason Taylor. So he's one of my trade candidates. Go trade for Mason Taylor now. I don't know. Are you seeing and believing that Mason Taylor can be a mainstay there in New York?
I'm still scared of that offense, man. Like I always have been.
Oh yeah.
It never has made sense of how they operate. So it makes it a little bit hard for me. Like I can definitely see where he's getting more action on the field. He's being more incorporated into that offense. But at the same time, like I don't believe in that offense at all. And that scares me a little bit. You know, I don't necessarily believe that Justin Fields is going to air out the ball a whole lot. You know, like I've kind of seen where he's at. It's a little bit more like RPO type. It looks like to me, at least, like very college style offense, if you will. But like I don't know. I mean, like it's definitely somebody that I would love to buy low right now, but I'm not gonna go out there and pay an arm and a leg for him, especially if it's not like a tight end premium league. Like I feel like I could get the same amount of value out of like a Tucker Craft or a Hunter Henry, which is another guy that I've seen a whole bunch all over waiver wires.
Yeah.
And, if we're being honest with ourselves, like he's about the same talent level, and I feel like he's more engulfed into that offense. But that's for a different, section of the episode there in waiver
Yeah.
pickup, because I've seen a ton of him out there, and I'm like, what? So definitely one of those ones, and definitely I do like Mason Taylor without a doubt. So
Yeah.
I was a big fan of him coming out of college. I hated the landing spot, and I'll stand by that quite a bit.
Okay. All right. So our next person to go trade for, okay, is probably somebody that people were already skeptical about his sudden production, especially after having his first few years just be very lackluster, drop issues, all that stuff like that. And he's put up some crazy numbers, and that's Quentin Johnston, who going starting from week one on a normal PPR, he got you 24 and a half, 16, 15, 24, and then now he got you 7 in week 5. So the thing is here, I think you should go buy people panicking on this, saying, okay, well, this is what he is. We knew he was coming back down to earth. It wasn't going to last long. Bro, show me how he's not involved. I mean, yeah, he had a bad game, but I mean, are we freaking out right now? I think we should buy on the panic. What do you think?
I'm a little bit more panicked about the offense as a whole right now, to be honest with you. I think the reason why things are kind of being awry there, why they've lost their last 2 games there, is because they're missing a whole bunch of pieces up front. And, you can't really hold back or, get time in the pocket when you got no offensive line.
Yeah.
So that definitely makes me worried. You just lost your studded running back as well. So you have no run game, no line. I mean, you're going to have to throw the ball, but at the same time, how much time is he going to have? Where
Yeah.
QJ thrives off of that long ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't thrive off of the middle of the field type of targets, where that's third and Keenan and that's Lad McConkey.
Third and King.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So,
all I'm saying is kind of driving my point home a little more, though. Like to buy him now on the low, because even if he has another bad week next week because of the low targets and all that stuff, because if we're looking at the film, not just looking at the box score, because that's what a lot of people do wrong, is they just look at the box score, they don't look at the film and say, wait, there's a reason why Quentin Johnston's targets are low. It's because Justin Herbert had to dump it off real quick to Lad McConkey or Keenan Allen or Rondé Gadsden because he has no time, because there's no legitimate threat at the running game. So they're just going to blitz, blitz, blitz. So, I mean, thank you really for proving my point more, because once Joe Alt comes back, once Amarion Hampton comes back, and this offense is back to clicking, bro, I think Quentin Johnston's going to be fine. But if you are worried that, hey, this Quentin Johnston had his 4 weeks, that's cool, man. No worries. Maybe now you just sell him for, whatever you can get for him. In Dynasty, I mean, you could easily get a second round pick. I sold high on him and got a 27 first for him. So, hey, I'm happy with that. But if you want to hold, it doesn't hurt to hold him, because you probably drafted him or you got him cheap when he was, had after his second bad season. So, I mean, still, you're doing well.
So I got kind of one that I've been thinking about here for a minute. What's your thoughts on BTJ? So what I'm seeing right now is that, yes, he's being underutilized. That offense has not looked the best, but we're staring down the barrel of a 4-1 team. A team that's most likely going to be competing for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, I think down the season when they're going to have to play to make the playoffs, they're going to have to throw this ball.
Yeah.
It's going to be an all-out chaos. And, like, I think Trevor Lawrence can do it. And I definitely believe that Liam Cohen can guide an offense to get there. But I seen a little glimmer of hope this week against Kansas City. Granted,
Yeah.
I know it's Kansas City. You know, there's a lot of moving pieces in this whole thing. But right now, there's a lot of people that are down on him, that are very low on him, because he's gotten you 6 points, 7 fucking points, something that you don't really necessarily, you can't even flex that. You know, it's
Well,
something.
do you know why his points are so low this season?
Yeah.
It's because he's dropping the ball. I mean, look at these target to reception numbers right here, starting from week 1. So week
Yeah, he's
1,
been
out of
dealing with
seven
injury, too.
targets, he only caught 1. Week 2, out of 12 targets, he only caught 4. Week
Yeah, but
3
half
against
of those
Houston.
weren't catchable either. If you're watching the games, you'll know that.
I mean, and that's fine, but I know for a fact that I've watched games where they hit him in the hands and then bounce right out. It's
Yeah.
like he just
Did
he
you
didn't
know
know
that
how
he's
to
got a wrist
close
injury
his
too?
grip. What's that?
Did you know he's got a wrist injury too?
Well, then that's something that they need to, that's not on us, that's on them. Now, if he's got a wrist injury, then that needs to be out there and they need to deal with that
It
and
has been
maybe
there.
because they're making his
He was
numbers look
questionable
bad.
for the first 3 weeks, man.
But this is the most yards he's had, the best target reception ratio he's had all season. 6 targets, 4 catches, 80 yards. So it's looking better for him. But I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is a good wide receiver. I think he just, I mean, maybe he's having a sophomore slump. We know that's a real thing in the NFL. So, I mean, we saw it last year with C.J. Stroud, right? Coming off of an offensive rookie of the year season. And dude, yeah, I'm with you. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is definitely a trade candidate. Are you telling people to go trade for him or trade him away?
Trade for him.
100% trade for him.
Yeah,
100%.
I want pieces of offenses that are going to be in that playoff push, because at the end of the season, what's going to happen is they're going to get into full on just air raid shows a lot of the time, especially with a team that doesn't have a defense that's worth a damn at all.
Yeah.
But that defense is horrible. Just
Yeah.
like the Cowboys defense, I want to stack up on every Cowboys player that I can right now for the playoff push, to be honest with you, because the team is going to be fighting. They're going to be within striking distance to be in the playoffs, and they've got no defense. And
Yeah.
they're going to have to throw the ball in an obnoxious amount of time. You know, so that's kind of one of my key things that I look for right now in the middle of the season, is identifying these teams that are going to be big candidates for a playoff push, and try to load up on those wide receivers, those running backs, those QBs, and just really. So, I mean, with that being said, like, yes, I would be attacking your LA Chargers, whether it's your Quentin Johnsons or your Keenan Allens or your Lad McConkeys, whatever your flavor. But you want to get pieces of these offenses that you have a good feeling or a good inkling that they're going to be in that playoff push, because that's where fireworks happens. They're at the end of the year when they're fighting and you're in your week 14, week 15 playoff push and you need those players to go off. Those are the players that you want to have.
Oh, 100%. All right. So moving on to our next topic here. Let's, what is going on with my screen here? It is doing some weird stuff here. All right. So bye weeks. This week we only have 2 teams on byes, and that is Houston Texans and Minnesota Vikings. So that's looking good. You're not really freaking out here, unless you are a Justin Jefferson owner, Jordan Addison owner. Maybe you've been playing Jordan Mason, T.J. Hawkinson. On the Texan side, you're looking at C.J. Stroud. You're looking at Nico Collins, and maybe if you're playing Woody Marks, riding that recent success from he had last week. So those are the players that you have on bye week this week. So look at our next section to help fix that. And that is going to be our waivers, and our spot starts. So obviously our spot starts are players that you're not going to keep long term. They're just literally just waiver fill-ins for the week. So who's going to be your first priority? Let's do one priority and then a stash and then a priority and go back and forth like that. So let's start with priority. Who is your favorite priority waiver ad this week?
Priority waiver ad would probably be Joe Flacco. Because I feel like a lot of people had dropped him after he got benched. And if he's available, that would be one person that I am after immediately.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So my priority waiver ad here is I'm going to go with Theo Johnson. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So Theo Johnson, just out of necessity there, they lost Darius Slayton, lost Malik Neighbors. So Theo Johnson is somebody who's been looked at a lot in the red zone and who's done well with it. In the past 2 weeks, he's gotten you 3 touchdowns. Okay. Last week he got you 10.7 points in non tight end premium. This is just standard PPR. And against the Saints, he got you 21.3 points according to normal Yahoo PPR scoring. As far as targets go, I mean, he's got 7 last week and then 5 the week before. So this is somebody that you want. If you're hurting at tight end, go grab you Theo Johnson, because with Jackson Dart, you're going to see just about this production.
Yeah.
You hit on it earlier, like looking at Cam Scadabo's increase in targets. Theo Johnson is like, bro, I'm with you. Like you sold me on Theo Johnson, and that's why I have him as my top priority waiver ad. I mean, heck, with these kind of numbers, that's somebody you can put in your flex position.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not just tight end numbers where, oh, he got me 8 or 9 or 10 points or whatever like that. Like dude got you over 21 points this week. So I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But all right. So who is your stash waiver ad?
Stash waiver ad right now would be probably either Jalen Coker, because he's coming off of IR soon. I would be looking at any of my IR people, because a lot of these guys are either coming off or they're lagging behind. Not a lot of looks on there. I would say it was kind of a stash whenever I was going through the notes earlier, and I was able to pinpoint Vidal. But now that the news is broke and that he has been sent to IR, I mean, that's kind of shifted into more of a priority ad, if I'll be honest with you there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So my stash is somebody that is. So I'm going to start off with my lesser owned stash here. Okay, my lesser owned stash is going to be Isaiah Bond. Okay, Isaiah Bond. The reason why I have him as a stash is because one, his target usage each week is going up, and that's something you want. Now let's keep in mind here, Isaiah Bond didn't have training camp. Isaiah Bond didn't have all that stuff because he had some legal issues, so he joined the team a little late. And with that, he wasn't able to develop a relationship with the coaching staff, wasn't able to develop chemistry with his quarterbacks. So he's going to take a little bit longer to break in. Now, stashes, let me be clear, stashes are people that if you have the bench space, you shouldn't cut anybody for these players. If you have the bench space, I'm going to say go ahead and add Isaiah Bond. He's only owned in 6% of leagues. Okay, 6% of Yahoo leagues, I should say. So if you can, I think go get Isaiah Bond. He's going to be a late season guy who is going to break out for you. But I think with the addition of Joe Flacco, excuse me, with the addition of Dylan Gabriel, I think you're going to see more and more targets from him. Because as we always see, the lower on the depth chart that the receivers and quarterbacks are, they're running with the 2s, running with the 3s, what have you. So they're going to be able to develop that relationship. Now it just kind of works out that Isaiah Bond has worked himself in the starting role. and Dylan Gabriel's worked himself in the starting role. So this is going to help because Dylan Gabriel and Isaiah Bond are more familiar with each other from running second team and scout offense. So I say go grab Isaiah Bond if you have the space. So, Slade, who is your next priority waiver ad?
If Waller is still available, I am going back after Waller again this week. I went through a lot of my leagues and I seen that he was still available, and he had some crazy looking numbers over the last 2 weeks. And with Tyreek Hill being out for the rest of the season, I think he is a phenomenal ad on that aspect. But then again, if he is not there, another one that I would be after in a tight end spot would be Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry, I seen was available in 5 of the 7 of my leagues, and he is tight end number 5 on the season.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see him out there, he would be a great flex.
Yeah.
Low maintenance, kind of an easy throw in there for you. And he's shown to be somebody serviceable in that offense and somebody that's trusted by Drake May.
Yeah, so Hunter Henry is actually owned in 86% of Yahoo leagues. So people are wising up to Hunter Henry. Whereas Darren Waller, on the other hand, is only owned in 68% of Yahoo leagues. So Darren Waller, who's putting up better numbers than Hunter Henry, is actually more available in more leagues. So I like your pick with Darren Waller there, going and grabbing him, especially with Tyreek Hill being gone.
Yeah,
So
and
that's a big one.
What happened again for the second week? I'm very excited to see where this goes. And heck, I even seen he's putting out a little bit better music. So
hey, there we go. Yeah, go check him out on his old SoundCloud over there or
he's
whatever.
not crying on SoundCloud anymore, so that's a plus too. Hell yeah.
So all right, so I'm up here, and I will go with my next priority ad. And again, I'm sticking with Mason Taylor. I told you to do it last week, and I'm going to stick to my guns on that. We talked about Mason Taylor's involvement and his increase in usage, and here we are another week, and he's only 14% owned in Yahoo leagues, which I think is insane. Like, I don't know how Mason Taylor is only owned in 14% of leagues. Now, I get it. It's Tuesday. Waivers will process tomorrow, but that's why you need to go and put your waiver in on Mason Taylor now. If Darren Waller is taken, if Hunter Henry is taken, Mason Taylor is a tight end, along with Theo Johnson, excuse me. Mason Taylor is a tight end that people aren't really savvy to yet, that you can go get. So I'm going to say go get Mason Taylor if you need help at tight end or you have a spot. Heck, again, these numbers, just like Darren Waller, like they're going to be flex spot worthy points. So go get you some Mason Taylor. And if you're in Dynasty, like I said, trade for him early. He's not going to be on waivers in Dynasty. There's no way Mason Taylor's on waivers in Dynasty. But see if you can throw an offer out there. And tight end premiums, you may have to pay up a little bit if you believe in the future. If you're like Slayton and you don't believe in the Jets, hey, fine. That's your prerogative, no problem. But maybe you can go grab him and he can pay off for you. So, all right, Slayton, what is your last stash? Your last stash for waivers?
Last stash for waivers. I think I'd probably go back to Kayshon Boutte.
Okay.
He has quietly been halfway decent, halfway serviceable through the season so far. And as much as I love Stephon Diggs, he's a little bit older. He's a little bit banged up, from years prior. I think this week was a little bit of an anomaly for him. I don't think he's capable of doing that, but I do think that offense is headed in the right direction, man. A lot of really good things coming out of there. Drake Mays looked really, really good. And I think that they're going to be able to put it together, but they're going to need the pass catching options to fulfill that.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, that concludes our waivers and our spot start section of the show. Those are our main priority ads and our main stashes. So hopefully you can get in ahead of time right now before waivers clear tomorrow. Get those ads in, and they can help you win some matchups. So let's talk about our starts and our sits. Like, what players are we without a doubt we're starting this week? No questions asked. And what players are we without a doubt sitting? Um, Now there might be a couple. There might be a couple players that you're a little questionable about, but you can't sit them because you drafted them in your first 3 rounds or something like that. But we recommend you sit them if you have better offers. So Slade, why don't you go ahead and lead us off? Who is your first? Like, I'm starting them with authority player for week number 6.
Josh Jacobs with authority.
With
Uh,
authority.
with authority, my man. He's been outstanding this season. I think he plays a soft defense this week for him to be warranted some more points. Coming off of a fresh bye week, ready to go. I think he's going to be a hammer this week. So definitely firing up Josh Jacobs.
All righty. All righty. I love that. So my start with authority, I'm going to stick with that. I love that. My start with authority is going to be Bo Nix versus the Jets. I think Bo Nix has been showing me what I want to see, especially against the Jets, who just can't really get it together, man. Like, I think that Bo Nix is able to distribute the ball well enough out there that he's going to be able to get it done for you. Looking at his numbers and his attempts, like he gets it done on the ground too. So the kid could run. So when everybody is covered, you're still going to get some points from him. You know, he can get it done on the ground with his feet in the end zone. I'm starting Bo Nix.
Yes,
So
sir.
they're playing the Titans. Titans just barely got a win. But hey, look, the Titans are one of the worst teams in football right now, and you want to play players against bad teams. So, who is your sit? Give us give the people somebody that you think should be sitting on your bench this week.
Oh man, man, oh man. I want to say sit T Higgins until we see what's going to happen, especially with a new QB there and that type of stuff. He's not been very good as far as like a starting for you this season at all, and it really makes me nervous there. Um, so he would probably be one that I'm sitting in most of my leagues unless it's like dire that I have to start him.
Okay, I mean that's fair. New QB coming in doesn't really know these guys. Like, I get it. Sitting T Higgins. Um, so all right. So here's one that may be a little unpopular. I'm gonna say sit Jerry Judy versus the Steelers. I know Jerry Judy's season last year he did very well, but I don't feel very confident in how they're using Jerry Judy. Just for the simple fact, like his targets are low, his receptions are even lower. I mean, his yards are dog crap. And people are starting to bail on Jerry Judy. So if you still have him on your roster and you drafted him high because of the season he had last year, don't play Jerry Judy this week against the Steelers, who are probably going to beat them pretty good. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they're gonna take their daddy belt out and give them a good old whooping.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who I got. All right, let's give us another start for week 6.
All of the Cowboys offense, start them up.
Just all of
All of them, dude.
them.
I
All
mean,
the
like
Cowboys.
I wouldn't be starting up Tolbert or I wouldn't be starting up, the other bums, but your main three, your main four that you have in that offense, your George Pickens, your Javonte Williams, your Jake Fergusons, and your Dak Prescotts. You're starting all four of those bad boys, without a doubt, with authority.
With authority.
With
Awesome.
authority, dude.
Love that. All right. So let's see here. So my next start is I'm going to start Ashton Genty versus the Titans. Look, Ashton Genty's offensive line is just atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But this is two bad teams. Two bad teams playing each other usually means points. And I know that doesn't make sense, but for some reason, the NFL is backwards in that regard because they're so bad, they're just going to put up numbers. Neither one of these defenses are great. The Raiders just got their freaking butts beat by the Colts 40-6, where they got no sacks. Like they couldn't get to the quarterback at all, get to Daniel Jones at all. So I believe that the Raiders are actually going to put up some points against the Titans because the Titans are going to be able to put up some points against the Raiders. So if you were scared about Ashton Genty and all his stuff like that, confidently start Ashton Genty this week against the Titans. All right. Do you have another sit, or do you have a start that you would prefer to go with? We'll go dealer's choice on this one.
Start.
All right. What's your next start?
I'm starting Roma Dunze. Firing his ass up, boy. I think they play a real soft defense as well, coming off of a bye week, healthy, ready to go. I think he's going to be coming out lights flashing, just blazing, man, with authority.
There we go. I love that. I love that. All righty. So I'm actually going to go start as well. So I am actually going to start Sam Darnold versus the Jacksonville Jaguars because Sam Darnold has shown me, not just last year with the Vikings, but so far this year with the Seahawks, that Sam Darnold can get it done. I know for fantasy he had kind of a slow start, but he was, opened up the season against San Francisco 49ers. I mean, of course, they were looking pretty good at that point in time. And then ever since then, I mean, he's putting up over, almost 250 yards a game. And he's coming fresh off of a 341-yard game with 4 tutties. I don't think that's going to change at all against Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is going to play neck and neck with them, and I think Sam Darnold's going to have to keep up because Jacksonville's going to be coming off riding that momentum. They're going to have a lot of major confidence, and they're going to be putting up points, which means Seattle's going to be putting up points. So that's why I'm going to go with Sam Darnold on this one.
You said that the Steelers are playing Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
So my next sit would be any of the running backs for the Steelers. I want no part of that rushing offense this week, especially if Jaylen Warren plays. He's coming off of an injury. Still not 100% from what I'm reading, but he's risking it. Like he might actually go out there and play. And against Myles Garrett and probably the best defense that we've seen so far this season.
Yeah.
I don't foresee them getting a whole lot of rushing yards unless they pass the ball a whole bunch to them. But even then, coming off a soft tissue injury, I think it was a soft tissue injury or an ankle.
Who, Jaylen Warren or who?
Jaylen Warren, yeah.
It's a knee.
Yeah. So with a knee injury, like I don't feel comfortable, especially with a stout defense ahead of you.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. Like Jaylen Warren's something that's gonna suck. Like if they're gonna try and force him out there, which they shouldn't. Like don't try and get him out there if he's not ready, and hopefully they're not persuading him. But no, that Cleveland defense is legit.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that, man. So my sit this week is somebody that you're not going to be able to sit because you drafted him too high, but he is going to be blanketed by Patrick Surtain, and that's Garrett Wilson. So you mentioned earlier in the show about your lack of confidence with Justin Fields and his passing prowess. Well, that doesn't bode well for Garrett Wilson, especially if Garrett Wilson is going up against the best or one of the best. I know Derek Stingley's out there too, but corners in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So being Patrick Surtain. So my sit for the week, my biggest name, which people are probably gonna at me on that, and that's fine. Hey, well, I'll talk about it, man. Well, I got no shame in it. Garrett Wilson, man. I think you should sit Garrett Wilson if you have the ability to.
Yeah. I agree with you. You know, that's a matchup that I don't like. We've seen Patrick Surtain shut down a couple different guys this season so far, and it looks like he's got another one on the list. So I'm interested to see what happens here. I think it'll probably be a pretty decent game, but at the same time, I don't foresee G-Dub getting a whole lot of trot.
No, no, and it's gonna piss you off if you have to start him. That's just how it goes. I mean, you took him in your top 3 rounds.
With 7 catches for 27 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it might be a whole bunch of dink and dunk shit at the scrimmage line, but I really don't. I want no part of that.
Well, and that's where the good thing about PPR helps us out is at least you get the points for the reception, even if it's for 1 yard.
Yeah, living on that Lenny Fournette type of diet there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
the worst PPR scum in the world. I tell you what. Don't even get me started on Uncle Lenny, dude. The kid
All
get 7 fucking catches for 27 yards. I'm like, I want to kill people, dude. You got 9 points off of 27 yards. I want to kill you right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's go with our last start sit of the week before we move on, and that is going to be. I'm going to go with David Njoku against the Steelers. And the reason I say David Njoku against the Steelers is because for some reason Dylan Gabriel likes David Njoku.
mhm.
He wasn't getting as many targets and receptions with other quarterbacks, but here we are, week 5. He put up 9 targets with 6 receptions, 67 yards, and a touchdown. But they were looking at him in the red zone, which is good. That's what you want. You want those touchdown availability and options. So I'm going to start David Njoku because I think the Steelers are going to be getting to Dylan Gabriel enough to where he's going to be looking for David Njoku and possibly Harold Fanning Jr. But I'm going to trust more in Njoku right now just because he's the established veteran and dude's just an insane athlete. So, all right. So next segment, we're gonna start a new thing called Panic or Patience, and we won't spend too much time on this. We'll try and spit fire real quick. Now, Panic and Patience. Okay, panic is literally what it sounds like. Are we panicking on this player, or do we think that we should be patient and hold them? Panic meaning obviously you're cutting or trading them away. Patience means you are either trading for them or you are holding them on your bench until they can start producing for you. And this goes for redraft or dynasty. And you can decide whichever one you want. It doesn't matter if you say like, "Hey, I'm holding this person in dynasty." Sure. So let's go quick fire real quick. Panic or patience? Travion Henderson. Panic or patience?
Panic and redraft, patience and dynasty.
All right. DJ Moore. Panic or patience?
Panicked. All of the above.
Okay. Yeah, with the emergence of a Dunze and Williams, Caleb Williams relationship, that's not so well for DJ Moore. Plus, I think Luther Burden is the mainstay there. It looks like that Ben Johnson really likes Luther Burden and all that he offers. All right. So next, AJ Brown. Panic or patience with those low targets?
Patience.
Okay. Travis Hunter. Panic or patience with low targets again?
Panic.
Panic. Okay. Keon Coleman. Panic or patience? Low targets and just the Bills don't seem to like their wide receivers.
Panic.
T. Higgins.
Patience. Now that Flacco's there, patience.
All righty. Here's a spicy one right here. Travis Kelce, panic or patience?
I mean, he has not been too bad over the last couple of weeks, but I will tell you, once Rashid Rice comes back into this offense, it's over with. And hey, congratulations to anybody that has made it this far in the season and still has Rashid Rice on your bench. You made it, boys. You fucking made it.
Yep.
We're
One more week. Just hold off. One more week.
So close, man. And I mean, once you get that back, I'm licking my chops because I have a lot of teams right now that are like 3-2. That all I need is that piece. You know what I'm saying? If he comes back and he looks good, like what he's supposed to look like, it's going to be wheels up. You know?
Yeah, for sure. So with horrible QB play and decreased targets, are we panic or patience on Jacoby Myers?
Ah, man.
Ooh, thinking hard on that one. That's a good one.
I would say patience. He's still a slot target. He gets a lot of slot targets, if you will. So I'm still patient on him. I still think he's a decent flex play, if you will.
All righty. Next, panic or patience on Chase Brown with his low carries since Joe Burrow has been gone?
Patience, 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 patience.
All righty. Yeah, maybe an actual competent passer like Joe Flacco can come in and open up that run game a little bit.
Somebody that can actually move the ball, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Because nobody's worried about Jake Browning throwing the ball. Nobody's
I mean,
worried
he
about
looked
that.
good the second half of that game. So I was very surprised whenever I saw it come through today. And I was like, oh, shit. All right. And they were all like gun ho last season or last week talking about, oh, we're not going to ship him off. We're not going to get rid of him. Like, he's our guy until he proves different. And, and I'm like, well, that
I
fucking
never believed that crap ever.
that lasted real long.
Because it's a business at the end of the day. They're not there trying to make friends. Like, we love you, Jakey. Like, no, it's like, hey, you're not the guy. We found a better guy. So
I don't see how you didn't call like Mac Jones or Jameis. I'd be
shoot,
calling
they
Jameis.
still need Mac. They still need Mac Jones in San Francisco, bro. They're not getting rid of him.
I wanted Winston so bad I could taste it, dude. That would have been magic.
Hey, there you go.
Oh,
So Lad McConkey, panic or patience with a lower target count?
patience.
Patience. Okay. Definitely think that Lad is gonna regain his former glory there. Uh, panic or patience, Alvin Kamara being on a horrible team, and could he be a trade candidate next month when the deadline rolls around?
Patience. I would say patience on him.
Okay, that's fair. I think Kamara is a good buy low right now to hold just in case he does get traded, especially if you're a contender in Dynasty. Go ahead and trade for Alvin Kamara. If for any other thing, the depth, because we see it all the time. The depth at the running back position is so valuable. So last one, panic or patience, Matthew Golden.
Patience.
Okay.
I don't want.
So the only reason that I put Matthew Golden on there, I know he's a rookie, and you shouldn't be too hasty or anything like that with Matthew Golden. But our in fantasy football and our NFL society, it's a what have you done for me lately? Like, we want that immediate satisfaction, and Matthew Golden hasn't given that to us in fantasy football. So that's the only reason why I have him as a panic or patience candidate. So that is our segment, panic or patience. So we will try and do that one about every other week or so, looking at trends of players that we are seeing out online that people are talking about. Let's just say that people are talking about. Yeah, weary, that they're weary about. So if you stayed this long, if you've enjoyed this show, we spoke about at the beginning of the episode that we are a partner with W Energy. You see here on the screen, W Energy is zero sugar, chemical free. If you're trying to get away from all those nasty soda style energy drinks that just make your stomach just not feel good, you don't feel clean, W Energy has you covered there with all their unique flavor options that you can go to w.gg and use code Kingmaker, as you see on the screen, for 10% off, not just your order this one time, but every order and everything in that order. And that lets them know that the fellas here at Kingmaker Sports sent you there and that you want to get away from all that nasty chemical energy drinks. Also, when we reach 100 subscribers here on Kingmaker Sports, we are going to start off with doing a roster review. We will break it down, answer your questions, submit us your questions, everything like that, and we will announce the winner here live on the channel. So before you head out, go ahead, drop that subscribe, drop that like, hit that share button. Use us as your secret weapon against your league mates. I know everybody has their own. I have people that I listen to, Slayton. I know you have people that you listen to. So it's always good to have that source, and hopefully we can be that source for everyone out there. So we definitely appreciate y'all helping us grow the channel. We are doing this just because we want to use our years and experience and knowledge of fantasy football to help everyone out here win, hopefully, multiple fantasy football championships. So, Slayton, do you have anything for the people before we go?
Yes. When in doubt, bet over on half an interception for Geno Smith.
You've been making some money off Geno Smith's interceptions, bro.
Dude, I've been killing it with that man. Him matched up with over 3.5 receptions for Emeka Egbuka. Wow. I'm telling you, free game here, boys. Take it up.
Hey, so listen to the man right there when he's telling you. He's giving you free money in your pocket. So go ahead and listen to Snipes over here when he's telling you take those bets, because that's money right there.
Then you get a little freaky, throw a little bit of Jalen Hurts in there for a rushing touchdown, or Josh Allen for a rushing touchdown. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
No. What is it? Death, taxes, and Josh Allen's going to vulture your touchdowns.
Yeah, death, taxes, Geno over.
Geno throwed a pick. Well, from Slayton and myself, no, we're missing Mick tonight. He's out there keeping the lights on in California for everybody. So next time Mick's on, say thank you. If you see him out there, tell him thank you. We thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, answering all of your roster questions, helping you get ready for win another week. Thanks to Kingmaker Sports. So thank you very much, and we will see everybody on Sunday. Go get them.